What's up? Happy Monday, Philly Uncensored Sports Podcast. I apologize. I might hear the fireworks going off in the background. Everybody knows 4th of July tomorrow, so everybody celebrating, shooting fireworks and all that good stuff. But I know everybody happy to have a day off, at least, even if you don't officially celebrate like that. Like myself, I got a couple days off, so I'm happy about that. But welcome everybody to the show. It's a lot going on, man. A lot has happened since the last time we got on this joint. I mean, we got a lot to talk about, man. This show is full of excitement, of information. We definitely got to hear from y'all to see what y'all got to say about what's going on. A number of different topics going on in and outside of sports. You got the ESPN thing with everybody, not everybody, but a lot of people getting the axe, which I thought was very, very interesting, very intriguing. Then you got all the sports stuff going on with the NBA. Teams making moves, Sixers making hardly none at all. This is going to be a very intriguing off season. Please, ain't no excitement. Ain't no excitement. Ain't no excitement. It's a lot of not for us.
For everybody else.
The Sixers. Everybody else is enjoying moves. I think right now we're going to talk about who probably had the best off season thus far. I personally think the Lakers. We'll talk about that a little bit more. But what y'all think? I mean, Sixers made a move. We got Patrick Beverley. We got Pat Bev.
Yeah. What y'all think about that Pat Bev? First of all, what y'all think about that Pat Bev signing?
I liked it. I like it as
I was working. My hands is terrible.
I like it as a backup.
I was doing some work around the house, but I give it to soft clap.
As for a backup point guard, which we never really have, I kind of like it. We actually have a backup point guard, somebody that can come in and run the offense on the back end. Like, we don't have just another shooting guard running the team. I like the fact that we have a point guard that's going to run the backup unit. So I don't have a problem with that move. To me, that was a good move.
Run is.
It's not going to be a shoot first guard. He's going to sit there. He's going to try to get the ball.
He better not be a shoot first guard.
But I'm saying we don't usually have that. So to me, that's a good thing. Think about when was the last time we had a good backup point guard? Not.
You think Pat Bev's a good backup point guard?
I think he'd be solid for us.
I don't.
I'm with Ethan. I'm not enthralled with the Pat Bev move at all. Honestly, a Pat Bev move is a move that you make right before the start of the season when you like, well, let's throw one more piece in there, and you might throw him in for some grit. Nah, I'm done. Pat Bev is nothing but a PJ Tucker.
I'm saying not if that's the only move you're gonna make. If that's the only move you want to know, then no, I don't like that. But I'm saying,
we could have. We desperate. We desperate for a wing.
Why we? I would have rather signed the boy D'Angelo Russell. I'd have rather brought him in here.
That's just
what happened to the dude? What happened to the other dude that the Lakers signed? The dude from the Knicks that used to play for Atlanta. 6'7", 6'8" wing. What was his name? I can't think of his name.
You talking about Hachimura?
No. I'll find it in a minute.
I mean, maybe somebody. I do believe we did the least out of all the teams in the league. I think we probably did the least as far as movement. But I do believe, and I know we're gonna talk about how Harden opted in. I do believe that he opted into that contract kind of.
Cam Reddish. Thank you, JJ. I'm sorry, y'all. Thank you, JJ. Cam Reddish.
Wow, Lakers signed Cam Reddish?
Yeah.
Wow. I didn't even know that. I knew about all the other signings. I didn't know they signed Cam Reddish. Lakers is on a move right now to try to win a championship. They're trying to secure the bag this year.
Lakers got a salary cap that none of the rest of the teams don't have. They have a special salary cap where they can sign anybody they want to.
Lakers having the best free agency so far. Lakers having the best free agency.
They are. They are. I have to agree with that. I didn't even know they signed Cam Reddish. That's a great move. I agree, MOTC. I was shocked. I didn't like the fact that we let Jalen go. That was.
I hate that move. I hate it.
And let Seth sign with Dallas too, Mastercraft. I agree with
Seth's kind of a nut though. I'm trying to figure out why Seth ain't signed with Golden State. I don't know if Golden State.
No, that was too much. I'm glad he ain't signed with Golden State.
I'm still trying to figure out why you ain't trying to go to Golden State and you and your brother team up. That's like LeBron trying to play with Bronny. Like, that's kind of decent to play with your sibling.
That's too much.
Would he get any burn?
Yeah, he get Seth field goal percentage wise. He's the greatest 3-point field goal. He's the greatest percentage 3-point shooter of all time. He definitely gonna get burned. Field goal percentage, why he don't jack as much as Steph, but come on, man, that'd been a great move for Golden State. That'd have been a great move for us. I don't think Steph. I honestly don't think Steph would have came back though with the whole Doc thing.
I don't think so. And Daryl Morey keep bringing in these old Houston retreads. What's going on? You know, Pat Bev's old Houston retread. We already got Shake Milton. We already got Maxey. We already got the rookie ball. So come on, man. I don't like it.
He talking about with MOTC. Ethan was talking about with Golden State. Would he get any burn if he went to Golden State? Oh yeah, Dre got his money too. Draymond got his bread. He signed the contract. Listen, Daryl Morey is put up time now. I've been saying this since last year.
Did I say Shake?
When I said the Harden deal was a bad trade, I didn't mind the fact that we got Harden at the time, but we gave up too much for Harden. I'm on record saying that. We gave up way too much for Harden, especially with Ben's value being high. Ben wasn't a good player, but the perception of Ben, his value, his possible trajectory that everybody thought he was going to be still possibly he could eke out some semblance of a great career. Ben's value was still high when they traded for Harden. And we got that Harden deal for real. It should have been almost Ben and Harden straight up, maybe with the Sixers throwing like a second round draft pick. We should have not have gave up Drummond, Curry, and draft picks. That should not have happened. That was a terrible deal, and Morey's still looking bad, still not making moves. He on the clock, bro. I don't think I agree with Ethan. I don't think or somebody in the comment section said that Morey don't got no direction. I don't see what he trying to do and where he going.
Hold on, let me clear something up. I know y'all. I meant to say Melton. I know y'all probably heard Milton, but I'm talking about what's his name? DeAnthony Melton. He's still with us, right? Don't we still have him? Don't we still have Melton, Maxey, and Springer? Ain't those the guards we still have? That's what I was talking about. I know maybe it sounded like I said Milton, but I was thinking of Melton. So some way you gotta. I don't know why they kept playing Melton at a 3, but same way you gotta get burned. You gotta get burned from them dudes. You gotta get burned for Springer. You gotta get burned for Melton. And now you gotta find burn for Pat Bev. So I mean, we really lacking. We don't like the only team in the league with no wing. The only team in the league without. I know y'all saying Reddish is mad. He's still a wing. He's still a 6'8" dude. He's still a wing.
Toronto didn't even play.
Toronto didn't play.
Toronto, they didn't pay a lot for Jalen. The guy we just let McDaniels. I don't see why we didn't bring him back. I don't understand. That's the first goofy thing that Nurse and Morey did collectively, not bringing him back.
I don't. I agree with that, Tim. As far as Draymond go, I agree. Draymond deserved that money from Golden State. I don't think Draymond deserved that money from no other team, but I think he deserved it from Golden State. And honestly, I think Draymond could have got. He wouldn't have got the Golden State money, but he would have got some decent money. Draymond is probably the best defensive player of this generation. So I don't see how that's over. I know X-Men say he's overrated. I don't see how he's one of the best passing big men in the game. If you consider him a big man. I
disagree. I think he would have gotten that money elsewhere. They
gave
the boy. Think about the boy Dylan. What's the boy name that was with Memphis? He just
Dylan Brooks.
He just got $80 million to go play with.
I told you I would take him on my team. I would take Brooks on my team.
So Dylan Brooks had one good year.
But that's what I'm saying. But he just got $80 million.
Hold on. X-Men. What am I saying? This is what I understand. Who's a better defender than Draymond in this generation? Draymond been in the league for about 12 years. Since he's been in the league, maybe his second year in the league, he's been the best defensive player.
Was X-Man a Ben Simmons? Nobody that was a Ben Simmons supporter can rip Draymond like that, because we had that argument and y'all was right. Draymond's a better defender, all around defender than Ben Simmons. So I do agree. I think when Draymond said about being the best defender of this era, I kind of got to agree with it.
Draymond could legitimately guard all 5 positions. Dwight Howard can't do that. Dwight Howard's a great rim protector. He can't go out there and guard guards. Draymond guards guards. He guards small forwards. He guards power forwards. He guards centers. Draymond is the only defensive player in this era that can legitimately guard all five. Kawhi can't even do that. Kawhi can guard probably 1 through 4. I never seen Kawhi man up and guard centers for a consistent period of time. I never seen that happen. Draymond's the only one who I seen do that. I seen
now. Can Draymond still do it? Can he still do it?
I'm not saying now. I said of this generation, he's been the best all around.
No, I agree with that. But I'm just asking, can he still do it? So when people saying what they're saying about him now, is that warranted what they're saying now? Like, because is he still that type of player, that type of defender?
I think he's still a great defender. I don't know if he can still guard as effectively as he has been doing. See, let's stop this. First of all, Starscream, stop. He said no, name one top guard that Draymond could guard. I'm not saying every great defender can't guard every great player, but he can guard guards. Name one top guard Dwight Howard could guard. Like, name one top center Kawhi Leonard could guard. But y'all telling me that Dwight Howard and Kawhi Leonard are better defensive players. But Kawhi can't guard. Kawhi couldn't even guard a decent center consistently for a game. He can't do it. Like, this is the point I'm making. This is why I'm saying he deserved that money. He was very integral in the win of Golden State. If Golden State don't have Draymond, they're not winning 4 championships.
But on the other hand, Kawhi, Draymond could never do offensively.
Draymond could guard all 5. I'm sorry, go ahead.
Draymond could never do what Kawhi could.
But we just talking about the defense. We talking about on the defensive end.
But I'm saying you got to put both of them together. It's not like
but you don't.
Like football. It's not like it's football.
But you know why you don't? Because that's not the argument right now. The argument is talking about who was the better defender. It wasn't talking about who's the better. Nobody's arguing that Draymond's a better player than Kawhi Leonard. But Kawhi, to Ephraim's point, he's saying Kawhi Leonard is one of them guys that people say he's such a great defender. So if you're saying he's a great defender, Draymond has a greater range of defensive play. So how are you going to say that Kawhi is a better defender than Draymond?
As a player, as if I'm going,
but nobody was disputing as a player.
But as a player, but I'm saying you gotta. It's almost like it's a tangible that you gotta put into it. Because you can say about a lot of defensive players, great defensive players. Bruce Bowen could guard 1 through 4. And you can sit there and say he was a lockdown defender, and you could put him up there with the greats as far as defensively, but you're never going to put him down there as the greatest players of all time.
But we wasn't saying greatest player. We were talking about the greatest defensive player of this era.
Just like Ben Wallace. Ben Wallace was a great defensive player of his time. Yeah, you're not going to argue that he's better offensively than anybody, but he was a great defensive player.
Okay. Thanks, Master Crab.
Yo,
would y'all bring in a Kelly Oubre?
Kawhi didn't even play.
Absolutely.
Real quick. Kawhi didn't even play this playoffs. Kawhi played like 2 games against Phoenix. Who said Kawhi was playing 8 in all series? We played 2 games. Stop this. Stop it. I understand.
Man, Charlotte needs Charlotte in a way, bro. Like, come on, like let some of them dudes go. Like, stop holding Miles Bridges. Let him go. Oubre
free agent. Oubre is so inconsistent, though. I like Oubre. He is so up and down.
No, I know. Remember we had that discussion. a few years ago when
he'll be the best wing on his team right now if we sign.
But that was my biggest problem with it was his inconsistency.
Draymond actually strapped Joker. He actually did a great job against B. He had B shooting around 30%. I think it was low 40s.
We need to try to get Miles Bridges.
The game he played the Sixers. Draymond has actually had he had a good game against Zion Williamson.
No, he's not signed. They
had it. Hold, let me finish.
Man, we ain't talking about Draymond no more. This ain't the whole Draymond pod.
It was an entire segment on Draymond.
We just did the whole segment on
Draymond. Who did we think was doing good in the first round?
It's a great conversation piece. The whole chat is talking about it. They don't think he's as great as he is. I think he's the best defensive player of this generation. I think he's one of the top 10 greatest defensive players of all time, in my opinion. I feel that strongly about Draymond. His credentials prove it. He battles everybody on any given night. You could put Draymond on any player in the court, and he will actually be an effective defender against any of them.
Draymond is a great defender. I agree with that.
I agree.
Matisse Thybulle's available. Would y'all bring Matisse Thybulle back?
He's a great defensive player. Look at his field goal percentage, X-Man.
You know what's funny is Matisse might. See, I don't know. See, Matisse angers me though. I just don't think he got enough dog in him. You know what I'm saying? Like, remember how he went over there and he was playing all tough for a couple games, and some people in here was hyping Matisse Thybulle. Oh, he got away from Doc and he balling out, and then you hear nothing else from him. Like,
Embiid gonna make a trade request.
Not yet.
We're gonna talk about Joel Embiid too, but it's funny. Everybody's saying Draymond not the best defensive player, but I ain't hearing no legitimate names yet. I heard Kawhi and I heard Dwight Howard, and neither one of them I would take a better defender over Draymond. But all y'all want to do is try to discredit Draymond and throw up fictitious stats about what this person did. Y'all talking about Joker averaged 31. I'm talking about when Joker played the head-to-head stats, Joker versus Draymond. Draymond had Joker shooting 20%. They posted it during the game. So y'all know what y'all talking about. He didn't play Joker the whole game because whatchamacallit, Kevon Looney comes in and plays the Joker. When Draymond played against the Joker, he strapped him. Now name who y'all going to name. So
Ethan, to your point, when we're talking about Miles,
Drew Holiday. Come on.
What they said with Miles, they said Charlotte is retaining the right to match any offer. So they didn't let him just go ahead. So it's like they don't want to just outright pay him. They like you could see if somebody want to sign you. And so my thing is we got Tobias Harris. Huh?
That's the same thing we do on Paul Reed. That means
right. And that's what I'm saying. I'm not mad at that. But my thing is, holler at them, see if they want to take Toby off our hands for him. They'll have that money freed up.
Ain't nobody taking Toby.
You keep saying that, but there's value in trading Toby because he has an expiring contract.
He ain't gonna be. Listen, if Toby gets traded, it won't be till the deadline. During the
maybe,
season.
but you got some teams might want to do it now if they feel like they can't move nowhere.
No, because no team is saying we tanking right now. So they're gonna see
teams say they tanking in the beginning of the season all the time.
That was the Sixers with the process. Teams gonna see.
It wasn't just the Sixers. A lot of teams. You don't think OKC said they was tanking before when they was trading everybody away and just getting all draft picks?
You don't
think San Antonio was tanking on purpose multiple years?
No, they what you don't take on purpose. That's what Sixers did. You don't tank on purpose. That's
the
what
Sixers ain't the only ones that did it. Boston did it the year when they got Kate when they had KD and traded. Well, I mean, not KD. The year when they had Jeff Green and traded, Boston was tanking. They was trying to tank.
Hold on. It's different when you just don't have talent and when you're losing games on purpose. Sixers were losing games on purpose.
Boston was losing games on purpose. But they were losing games on purpose. And you know what they end up doing? They end up going through free agency, and that's when they brought the big three in. But before they brought the big three in, they were tanking because they were trying to get a top pick. They wanted to get KD, I think that's who they was trying to get, and they ended up getting Jeff Green or somebody, and then they did it was something they did a whole trade and stuff. But they was trying to get. Matter of fact, they traded for Ray Allen. I think they traded Jeff Green for Ray Allen. They was tanking that year. Everybody was talking about them tanking.
Everybody knew that DeJounte Murray was good for the Spurs, but they traded him to Atlanta Hawks because they wanted to get Wemby. That's what they was doing. They was tanking. Teams do that all the time. They just don't. Yep. We broadcasted ours, and that's what made us.
Yeah.
They had to stop.
And labeled it. We labeled it the process.
Yeah.
So that brought all. But teams did that all the time. The tanking stuff.
Yeah.
OKC was trying to tank, but the only problem is they had Chris Paul, who ended up carrying them to the playoffs. They was tanking that year. They was trying to tank.
Yeah. So besides the Lakers, anybody else feel that anybody else been doing pretty well in this free agency so far? Any team sticks out to you? You say who?
The Cavs.
Oh yeah, I like what the Cavs been doing. I really like what the Cavs doing. They even though they took Honey the minivan went with them, but they got a couple other players that joined that team. They actually look like they
I wonder if Nick Nurse could get Corkmaster ball.
Why does it feel like we rebuilding though?
You know why I might feel like that? And this is my thing. We have limited moves to make. That's why I'm not mad that the Sixers not just all out selling for anything. We have limited moves to make. And I do like the fact that Morey, I know some people may feel some kind of way. Morey asking for this, he asking for too much for Harden, this, that, and other. So you rather them just give them away? We had the same argument with Ben Simmons, and we remember sometimes we saying, well, with Ben Simmons, you ain't going to be able to get nothing of value with Ben Simmons, this, that, and the other. but because he held to his guns, he had opportunities to make other trades too. Like
blew it.
Right, but what I'm saying is he stuck to his guns and said, "I'm not just giving him away for just anything."
That was dumb. That was dumb.
It's not dumb.
He traded for injured James Harden. That was stupid.
So wait. So he traded for James Harden. Who won that trade?
We lost that trade.
No. Who won? What did the Nets get? The Nets got Ben Simmons that's not playing. They got Seth Curry that left. They got Drake. They got Drummond that left.
Everybody they got out 2 first-round draft picks.
And the draft pick was so good that they passed on and said we'll take it in a later year because it was like a 20-something pick.
And where did we get?
That's better.
What did we get?
Okay. So how was it better? Who did they draft with that pick?
What did we get?
Who did they? No. Listen, I understand that ours didn't work out. I understand it didn't work out, but tell me it wasn't like we got fleeced in that trade. We didn't get fleeced.
We didn't get fleeced.
We didn't get fleeced. How did we get fleeced?
We got fleeced. Here's why we got fleeced. Because we could have used that commodity that we had in Ben Simmons and actually got additional first-round picks.
So the people that they traded, because you told me that the Nets came up so much because they got Drummond on the bench, they got Seth Curry a sniper, Seth Curry gonna kill us. Where them dudes at? They not even on that team no more. So they basically just made that trade, and they got nothing but Ben Simmons in the mental asylum.
If you let people answer the question that you ask, maybe you could get some understanding on why we got fleeced instead of.
I want to. We didn't. Both teams got fleeced.
Pixie played themselves because Ben, like I told y'all on the Polo chat, Ben's value was very high at the time, even though he wasn't that good. And I stuck by that, and I still stand by that. His perception and value was high. If we traded for James Harden, we should not have given away everything we did. It should have been James Harden, and at best, Sixers should have gave him a second-round pick because we could have went to any other team and got players and assets. We didn't get that from them. We got an old James Harden, and we gave up too many players. But you know why? But you know I don't want to hear that from y'all because y'all was the same one saying we ain't gonna get nothing for Ben Simmons. Just trading for whatever you can get early on. This is what y'all. Why is Morey holding on to him?
Why do you keep saying that? That's not what we said.
Because y'all did say that. That's what your argument, Tim. Was that not their argument? Because me and Tim was making an argument that no, hold on to Ben Simmons, you can get some kind of value out of him. Now it didn't pan out because Harden fizzed out in Game 7.
I said,
but don't act like he didn't drop 40 in 2 of the games.
I said
there was a potential there for it.
I said we were asking for too much, and in that process, right, teams was willing to give us some good assets for Ben, but they kept asking for too much, and I firmly believe Morey purposely did that so he wouldn't have to trade Ben to nobody except Harden, because that, and this is how you know it's cap. This is how you know it was cap. Because you asking for a king's ransom from any other team, but for Harden, you pretty much give Ben away.
Because he felt Harden was the superstar to bring in.
But no, because he's dumb.
But I hear your argument, but my point is, y'all was saying he's asking for a king's ransom. That's just like people saying the same thing about him now. Oh, for Harden, he asking for too much. This is what he does. I'm not mad at him. Now could he? I will say, who knows? The Halliburton trade might have been a better trade. It might have been. I'll concede that part.
The thing is, it's not.
Halliburton also getting like $47 million a year right now. Was y'all gonna pay Halliburton that money?
It's not what he.
You was? So what was Maxey gonna get? Because if you pay him that, you ain't getting Maxey that money.
You can go over the side cap. You can pay Maxey.
So you can go and pay Maxey, Halliburton, Embiid, all up in that type of money.
Real quick, Bootzilla said we want to trade because we still have Harden. Harden wants out.
Don't matter. We still have a commodity.
Everybody knows how he destroys teams when he wants out. He did it to the Rockets and he did it to the Nets. You think he's not going to do it to the Sixers?
I agree with Ethan. X-Man, Harden played better than Ben. Yes, for one that wasn't
young. He averaged 20 and 11. Led the league in assists.
That wasn't hard to play better than Ben. But Harden was not brought here to play better than Ben. Harden was brought here to get us to the finals, at least to the conference finals. And he folded like a cheap suit, him and Joel Embiid, but Harden folded like a cheap suit when it was time to get us to that next level. And I'm of the ilk right now that your history tells me who you are. Harden has been folding in the playoffs after playoffs after playoffs. So now he is who he is. I'm not convinced that Harden is going to be this dude.
So do we know for sure that Halliburton was going to get us to the Eastern Conference Finals?
No, nobody for
that's,
sure.
But that's why. But this is why I'm saying the trade. I understand the point that you're making.
Let me retort that.
Go ahead.
We would have got back more for Ben and the Halliburton deal. So even if Halliburton didn't work out, we wouldn't have lost Curry. We wouldn't have probably lost Drummond. We probably would have gave up Ben, got Halliburton, and some of their draft picks. So even if Halliburton didn't get us there, we were still in a better position because we had more assets.
So you saying they was going to give us Halliburton, Hill, and a bunch of draft picks? I don't believe that.
Yes,
I don't believe that. I don't believe that.
Ben, I'm telling you, Bulls is high on.
I don't believe that.
Okay, that was the word.
But I'm saying this. I'm saying all that. Like it's a whole bunch of ifs and what if stuff could have happened. But my point is the same way we rip Morey for saying he overvalued these people. I'm glad that he takes this stance. Whereas though I'm not just going to give you. If Harden, I hope the Sixers do take that same stance with Harden.
It doesn't matter if he takes the stance and make a bad trade. It's only good if he makes
the Harden trade wasn't a bad trade.
It was a bad trade. You know what? Here's why it was. Because Ben Simmons was like AMC 2 years ago. It was rated high. But guess what? Eventually came back down to reality. But 2 years ago, if you traded Ben Simmons at that particular time, we would have been all right. We would have got a lot of value for him, and we didn't. Yes, they had Halliburton, Hill.
Trade him at one particular time. You didn't want to trade Ben Simmons at all.
I didn't want to trade him, but if you're going to trade him, which we did, don't trade him for an injured player or don't trade him for somebody.
You're saying an injured player, but he averaged 20 and 11 during the regular season.
It doesn't matter. You saw what he did when 2 years in a row. We got 2 years of Harden in the playoffs where he stunk shooting.
He stunk. Did he stink when he stunk when he scored 40-something points in both of them games and we won?
He stunk when he scored 9 points in game 7.
9 points. Yeah, but see, that's my whole point. You're saying that he stunk. Has Halliburton even made the playoffs? How do we know what Halliburton's going to do in the playoffs?
We know he's not going to shoot 25%.
How do you know this? He hasn't made the playoffs.
There is nothing to suggest that.
And guess what?
There's nothing to suggest that he'll do it.
But I hear you. But I'm saying, and listen, I do like Halliburton. I liked Halliburton when they drafted him. But let's be real. Sacramento got rid of Halliburton and became the #1 seed. They wasn't in playoff. They wasn't running like that. It wasn't like Halliburton was carrying that team.
You're trying to make it look like and I just explained this to you. It's not just about Halliburton. It's about all the other assets we could have required.
So how do you know for sure they was giving us all these assets?
Somebody in the comment section, because that was the proposed trade. Somebody in the comment section said we talking about Seth like he his brother. Do y'all realize Seth is the highest 3-point percentage shooter of all time? Now,
like Tim said, when he was with us, he gave up more than he scored.
He's shooting. No, that's cat. He shoots about 5 to 6. I think around 5-6 threes a game, and he shoots I think 44-45% somewhere around there for a career. That's very good. I'm not saying he's Steph, but he is the #1 3-point percentage shooter of all time. That's not. Oh
no! I'm not throwing no shade. I'm not throwing shade on Steph. But Steph didn't help.
I want to go back to what Busilla said. He said it doesn't matter that he averaged 20 and 10. It doesn't matter because in the playoffs, that's not what we're getting from him. We're getting a regular season 20 and 10. 20 and 10 means nothing in the regular season.
But you're comparing that to a player that didn't even make the playoffs yet in his career.
So you said who has the better upside in your opinion?
This is my
no. Listen, I like Halliburton. I do think Halliburton has a better upside. Go ahead.
This is why I want a Halliburton, because with the trade you can get young, still build for now around Embiid with a legitimate point guard, and still build for the future.
The trajectory
instead of what Morey did was disable the team for the future. It was win now or you disable for the next 2 or 3 years. This is my point with Halliburton and Hill. When you get young, you still have Halliburton and Maxey. In case something happens to be, you still have future stars for the team.
So you
keep the team going.
So you think Halliburton, Hill, and Maxey would have won a chip?
I think they would have got us out the second round. How about that?
I don't know. With Doc, you think with Doc they would have got us
out the second round? How about that? You keep screaming chip. Beating Harden.
I don't.
We know.
I hear what you're saying, but you're talking about other dudes that ain't did nothing either.
Hey, first of all, with Doc, we got to a game 7 with Boston having home court advantage.
And we got the game 7 with Brett Brown too, and you couldn't stand Brett Brown. So what
we literally had to watch Harden wet the bed to lose that game because we was about to.
And guess what? We got this game 7 with Doc when we was up to at least 3-2, and we had game 6. We had a big lead, and he failed to coach the team down the stretch in game 6.
Again, James Harden, who's you defending.
All right. So then what? So what happened against Atlanta when we had a 3-1 lead?
Larry J.
But it's never Doc. It's never Doc though.
Okay. Larry K. That's exactly the point I made. He said we gave up assets for Harden when they could have received assets.
I don't know how I do it, X-Man. I get high blood pressure messing around with him.
That's the point. That's the point I was making earlier. I feel we gave up too many. I said this at the beginning of the trade. I was fine at a certain point with getting Harden because I was hoping that Harden could get us to the next level. But I also noted that we gave up too much for Harden. I said that on several podcasts.
We didn't give up a whole lot.
The chickens have come home to roost.
What's the whole lot that we gave up? Seth Curry, Andre Drummond, and a late first-round pick that they didn't even want that first year, that they deferred later, and a pick in 2027.
Yes. Yeah,
come on, bro.
No, listen. But here, see, you're not looking at both sides of the coin. You're saying, okay, we gave up. We wouldn't have had to give up nobody.
Yeah.
If we just traded Ben, we could have kept all them dudes, received assets, and then have pieces to move.
I don't know that. I don't know that for a fact. Show me the contract. Show me the deal. Show me the deal in writing, not no rumors.
No.
Show me the deal in writing.
All right, Wayne. How about this?
Let me get into it. I'm sorry. Let me finish. The first thing you came on here and said, when you talked about Harden, you said we don't have pieces to make moves. And you're right, because we didn't get none. No. All way.
First of all, if you're going to speak correctly, I didn't say we don't have. We do. We have limited pieces. Tobias Harris is a piece because of an expiring contract. James Harden is a piece that we can make.
Say it again.
We do have pieces. So I'm not. My point was, no, we have pieces.
What kind of pieces?
And my whole. We even got Tyrese Maxey is a piece. We got pieces.
How you going to trade? How you going to trade the future?
Everybody got limited pieces. Everybody got limited pieces.
I don't know. They don't. I think got more. We could have had more if we'd have made more better moves. That's the point.
Do you know why Harden signed his contract? Because nobody wanted him.
Okay. No. So people don't want him. They not talking about trading for him.
He opted in.
Not for nothing. You
really
gonna get
paid no. Nobody
wasn't gonna get paid. Harden's gonna get a Westbrook deal in free agency.
No, he wasn't. The whole point is Harden wanted a max contract, and he was not getting that. He wasn't getting a Tyrese Halliburton contract. That's what he wanted. So it's like, if I can't get that, I'm going to take the $40 million for 1 year and actually be traded to somebody I think.
All right, Wayne, can I start my question, please? Wayne, this is for you.
Go ahead.
If you had Ben Simmons, is Ben Simmons worth even James Harden and Ben Simmons? Are they worth? Or do you consider at that time, at the value of Ben Simmons, was he worth a trade? No. Okay. Ben Simmons, was he worth a trade for Halliburton and Buddy Hield? If you had them two, would you consider that an even trade?
I guess so. Yeah, head up, yes.
So that team, the Sacramento Kings, said, "I'll give you those two for Ben Simmons."
Where do we see that at? Where do we see this? Was rumored. I don't know that for a fact.
You never seen the NBA contract.
They also said they was going Golden State. Wait, they also said Golden State was offering Wiggins and all these other people, and then Golden State said no, they wasn't.
We've never seen an official NBA contract. So
Golden State said they wasn't offering that.
So I'm gonna answer this question. If you had a chance to get Buddy Hield and Halliburton, Buddy Hield's the one that has the money. Halliburton is on his rookie deal. So you had those two with a 4-year deal with Ben Simmons. Plus, I'm going to give you a first-round pick. You're telling me that combination right there is not better than James Harden?
I don't know. We wouldn't have got our first round with him. No, we wouldn't have got our first round.
Okay, then I can't win. Next.
Yeah, you can. So let's go.
No, I agree with Tim. People comment section.
I agree with Ethan. It'd have been better for the future, possibly, but no. We wouldn't have got our first round.
Comment section saying that we don't know. Listen, anytime when you hear a trade more than a few times, more likely it's some truth to that trade. Now, do we know what the exact pieces was and how it ended up? No, nobody knows that. But we heard these trades several times through reliable sources consistently in various articles. I remember reading it when we talking about the whole thing. Stuff kept on popping up on my feed, various articles from reliable NBA websites, and also on ESPN. They was talking about that trade with Halliburton and Buddy Hill. So, do we know exactly what we ever know? Maybe not, but I know where there's smoke, there's fire, and I'm telling you right now.
So you told me nobody wants
better for Ben because everybody was high on Ben, and y'all know it. Everybody
so you saying that where smoke is fire, but you tell me nobody wants James Harden at this what $30-something million contract that he has right now.
They did.
Nobody. You said where smoke is fire. Teams say they're interested in him.
Who said that? Who said they're interested?
The Clippers want him.
Then why they sign Westbrook?
The Clippers want James Harden.
Then why did they sign Russell Westbrook?
Exactly, Starscreen.
For depth.
Exactly.
Depth.
Starscreen said they end up trading Hill and Halliburton for some bonus. They definitely would have took Ben for that.
At that point when they traded for that, I don't know how. So you don't think Sabonis was a better player than Ben Simmons at that point?
Ben's upside.
What?
Ben,
Sabonis?
People still thought Ben had room to grow. People still thought Ben was
going to knew he was a mental midget. Remember how Golden State was acting like they was interested in him, and then when he said that stuff, that mental stuff he was talking, Golden State's like, nope, we out. No, Golden State was interested in Ben.
Golden State was interested until Morey kept asking for too much.
No. Golden State
was asking for Clay.
I hear you. Golden State. So would you have done that now if you're looking at Clay now? So
no.
Golden State. This is my thing. Golden State was interested
last year with Clay.
Golden State. Let's not have revisionist history. Golden State was interested in Ben Simmons, and they were still doing negotiations until Ben Simmons started doing that goofy stuff that he started doing, and then Golden State owner was like, "Nope, we want no part of that kind of player."
No, Steph Curry was smart enough because my young boy knows ball like I know ball.
Well, he don't know women.
Yes. That's neither here nor there. We're not talking about that at this time. We can talk about that later. But he said, if y'all pull the move on Ben, I'm out. He flexed his muscle on them fools, and he knew that everybody else was saying Stephen A. Smith, you had all these commentators talking about how great Ben would fit in with the Golden State system and yada, yada, yada. And he was like, Steph was like, nah, that's cap. Do not bring that dude in here. I don't want to play.
Now, that's something that we never heard of, and this is all with hyperbole on Ethan.
No, man, wait. Remember me and you talking?
No, he's right.
That?
No, he's right. But that's what I'm saying. Golden State as an organization. When Steph Curry heard Ben Simmons talk that goofy stuff, he's like, nah, we good. We got Draymond, we good.
That came out that said Steph shot that joint down. He didn't want to play with no Ben. Remember, KD was shooting Ben, the whole Ben trade down early.
The only person I wanted to play with Ben was Dame. That's why I questioned Dame's brilliance. I questioned Brain's mental makeup.
Since we talk about Dame, we might as well jump into it right now. Dame asked for a trade, the thing that we've been waiting for the last 2 years. He decided to finally ask for a trade. What's your thoughts? Where do you think he's going to go? Do we got a shot at it? Sixers earlier this week said he's off the table, which is Tyrese Maxey. Would y'all put Max in the deal for Dame?
Listen, I'm all right. Let me start off
I'm not mad either way.
I got two backtracks I'm gonna make. I've made very few backtracks on this pod because most of the time when I kick my knowledge is impeccable. Let's go to Brandon Bernard McCoy first before I go on my rant. He said, "Maxie, my dude, thanks for the super chat, bro. Good luck." He said, "Maxie, my dude, but I hope." Okay. Thanks for taking it off, somebody.
My fault. I don't know.
But I hope for his sake. But I hope him for. Am I reading that wrong?
He said, "Maxie is my dude. I guess he said, I hope they keep him for his sake. Fans turning and ride. Oh, he's saying he hope we trade him for his sake. I think because fans turning on a rising 22-year-old because he has been choking superstars and piss poor GMs.
Choking superstars and piss poor GMs. Choking superstars like beating Harden.
Yeah, but has he stepped up and took the reins either?
Yeah, but how much you want him to do? He can't do everything.
I'm not asking him to do everything. I'm not asking him to play defense because he's not doing a great job at that. But that being said, I'm not putting none of that what we just did on Maxey. My culprits for that series we just lost, and the shame of it is Boston was the better team. So for real, if it wasn't for Doc's past and Embiid's past and Harden's past, you know what I'm saying? Boston was a better team. But because those dudes have a past and they've done this stuff in the past, now you got to sit there and look at it and you got to analyze everything that went on. My thing about Maxey is I still think Maxey has potential.
So you trade him for Dame?
That's the dog in Maxey. When I trade him for Dame, I could go either way with it. I ain't gonna hold you. I really would rather have Maxey because I do think Maxey still has potential.
I kind of agree with Jamar a little bit. I rarely agree with Jamar because he be talking that crazy stuff, Jamar Oliver. But he said Dame is a generational talent. Maxey is not. I don't see Maxey.
How old is Dame?
Dame probably 32.
Y'all think Dame is a generational talent?
Absolutely.
If Dame came in here playing like he did last season,
he averaged 32 points a game last season.
That's what I'm saying. Last year he was balling out. If Dame come in here doing that, if you replace Dame, if you put Dame in that position with Harden, and let's keep it a bean, we wanted Dame over Harden last year. That because we got excited when we thought Dame was going to come here. Then Dame was talking that stuff like, "Oh, I'm going to win here in Portland." Dame, I question Dame mental makeup too, though. I just want a dog on my team, bro. Beat ain't no dog. Dame
we got somebody saying
Harden ain't no dog.
I agree. I would agree with him.
Oh God, shut up. You think Dame overrated?
Ooh,
live.
You know what I compare Dame to? Keep it real.
Riz Live said Dame is
Dominique
overrated.
Wilkins. Dame is the Dominique Wilkins of this era.
And you think Dominique was overrated?
No, but he just was he put up a lot of points.
Dominique was a great player on the wrong team.
We'll see.
That's what Dame is.
Do you think Kev Love was overrated when he's putting up all on points with
Come on, you can't even compare Kevin Love.
I'm asking. He was on a bad team, putting up a lot of points.
Right? Kev Love was putting up monster numbers, though.
You cannot compare Dame Lillard to Kevin Love. You cannot do that.
Kevin Love was actually putting up better numbers.
Hey, MRTC, you already know that I listen. I got love for Bede, but Bede, it's no excuse for what Bede did in Game 7. I'm sorry. We seen Joker. When they came at Joker and they said they're going to throw all these, they're going to make Joker do this, that, and other, and they made Joker work. Joker stepped up and played. That's why I say
who played in one playoff? Dame went to people forget Dame went to the Western Conference.
Dame went a few minutes. He went to CJ McCollum carried him.
I agree. Somebody said Dame. I agree with Boozilla. Dame waited too long to ask for this trade.
And that too long. I agree with that.
Dame should have been here last year. It should have been Dame here last year, but he wanted to play.
2 years ago.
No, but he wanted to play with Ben Simmons.
Hey, Phil, I hear you. For one, I will say this: players' primes are a little longer now with modern medicine and workouts and all the kind of guru stuff that dudes do. Actually, dudes' primes have been lasting a lot longer. LeBron James, Steph Curry, it's a couple players you can actually throw in that mix whose prime is actually extended. I actually think Dame Lillard's one of them dudes. I think his prime will extend a little bit longer. But I see I see your point. I don't want to get the star when it's too late. Right. And I agree with Ethan. I agree with Wayne before that Dame and whoever just said in the comment section, Dame should have been asked for this trade. He didn't want to because he didn't want to disappoint the fan base. He didn't want to kind of go back on his
word. Why.
Dudes is ring chasing and all
that.
That.
Why.
He didn't want that stigma or the ring chasing thing. And I don't think I think he do. I really think Dame loves Portland area, and I don't think he wanted to upset the fan base. I think he's. I don't want to say a people pleaser, but I do think that means something to him.
I think so too.
No, I don't necessarily think it's a people pleaser. The problem is, you know how sometimes. And some of us do it like you go so hard one way for something that when you find out that you was wrong with your analysis of it, you just like, I'm going to ride it out. That's what Dame did. Because he ripped KD for leaving and go somewhere. And he was like, I would never leave. And I would do this, that, and other. So then he was at it. Remember I told y'all this a couple years ago when we was talking about the Dame thing. And I said, Dame's not going, and Ethan was right because he was saying Dame's not going to leave because of all the stuff that he was talking. And I said the only way Dame is going to leave is if the organization lets him off the hook. There has to be a situation where the organization says, okay, it'll help us if you go somewhere. And they basically did that when they drafted Scoot as in their draft pick. They drafted this young boy. They basically saying like, we looking at the future right now. And that's why Dame seen the writing on the wall. All that loyalty he had for Portland, they didn't call him and tell him, well, we picking another point guard. We could build with him and you around together. They ain't say all that. Dame was waiting for them to contact him. They never contacted him. Then Dame had to call him up and say, "What's up?"
I mean, it's time to go. I mean, he gave his blood, sweat, and tears there. He should have left a little earlier. He kind of did what KG told everybody not to do and stay in the place too long before you leave. And that's what KG was trying to warn.
He got rings for it though.
Everybody, he tried to warn everybody like the Dame Lillard to get out of there before it was too late. My opinion, if you're going to ride. Like once you decide to ride, you might as well just ride on out forever. But
X-Man, I like Springer. I actually think Springer's solid.
We can't hate on Dame Starscream. First of all, you play who you play. He said Dame got to the Western Conference Finals because Houston Golden State played each other in the second round. You play who you play. I mean, there's a lot of people who got to championships because certain teams played before they went in there. And second of all, X-Men said Dame had double-digit leads against Golden State in the Western Conference Finals and Steph walked them down and trashed them. You're talking about one of the greatest players of all time. Steph Curry's in the top 10. So I'm not. It's like when people was talking about when Curry lost the 3-1 lead to LeBron. LeBron is the first or second greatest player of all time. There's no shame in that. Like, should you lose a 3-1 lead? No. But if you lose a 3-1 lead to one of the greatest players of all time, you can't be mad at that. So if Dame loses to a better player and a better team, Golden State is a better team than Portland had. So if you
Phil, what Smith you talking about, Phil? He said, did we watch Smith in summer?
I don't know how
Dame is top 25, but he's not top 10.
Dame not better.
Dame is a great player. Dame is that's why I said to me, Dame is if you put him in rank, I guess where would you put Dame? Is kind of like that Curry, like he's a shooting / point guard / shooting guard. If you really want to put Dame in some kind of category, the hybrid guard, where would you rank Dame all-time point guards? If you're gonna put him as a point guard, is he top 10 all-time point guards?
Probably not.
Top what point guards?
Top 10?
10. Nah, probably not.
Nah.
Is he better than Stockton? You rank him as Stockton?
I'm saying no.
Curry definitely top 10. Stop that.
You got Curry.
You ranking
Dame?
Hey,
Phil, I'm gonna keep it. I'm gonna check it out, Phil. I just started searching. I'm gonna check him out.
I'm not ranking him at Stockton. I'm not ranking him at Isaiah.
You got Stockton. Yep, Stockton, Isaiah, Magic, CP3, Curry.
I'm not ranking him ahead of Westbrook.
I might put
I'm not putting Dame over CP3.
Are you putting Dame over Westbrook?
I might put him over.
No, he's not over Westbrook either.
I'm definitely putting him over Westbrook.
You putting him over Kyrie?
Put him over Nash?
Yeah, he's over Nash.
You out your mind. Westbrook is better than Nash. Career-wise, he's better than Nash.
He's not over Kid.
I'm talking about Dame.
He's not over Kid.
I know, but if you just said real quick, I'm putting him over Westbrook, but then you had to think about Nash.
What about Ben?
I'm probably not putting him over Mark Jackson.
What about
J
Ben?
Kidd? Yeah, exactly. J Kidd.
He's not over Ben either.
Y'all, I think y'all sleeping on
So ain't
Dame Miller had.
Tell smoking.
Dame, no, I'm putting Dame over a lot of
Dame
dudes.
might not even be over the French dude.
Who?
The one that won all the chips for San Antonio.
Are you putting him over Kevin Johnson?
Oh, you talking
Dame
about
for career average 25, 4, and 6.
That's his name. He's married.
They was cute numbers, but they ain't do nothing in the playoffs.
25, married to Eva Longoria.
No. Don't tell me that because Harden averaged 20. Harden averaged like 22 and 11.
No,
and we talking about they ain't matter because of what he did in the playoffs.
He's not over GP. Is he over Gary Payton?
Nope.
No, I wouldn't put him over the glove. I wouldn't
Yeah,
put
Tony
him over
Parker.
Payton.
Thanks, fellas. Yeah.
I'm not putting him over Tony Parker either. I'm not putting him over Kyrie.
Tony Parker played with
Kyrie. How about
Tony Parker played with some greats though, man. Tony Parker played with some greats. I might put him over Kyrie.
Wait, Parker did play with some greats, but one of them years Parker was carrying them dudes in the playoffs.
I might put him over Kyrie. I've never seen Kyrie as the face of the franchise carry.
You putting Dame over Kyrie?
Yeah. What has Kyrie done? When Kyrie got on Boston, they collapsed. Remember that?
Yeah, I also seen Kyrie give Curry that work, and then he got hurt, and then Curry won, and then the next time
as the number one dude.
And then when I don't care about his number one, I saw him going up against Curry. You're top 10, and he was cooking Curry. You're top 10.
When he cooked
Curry, he got shooting guard.
When they won the chip, he cooked Curry.
He had a couple good games. I mean, he was on one, but
he was cooking Curry that first series, that first game. He was cooking Curry that first game till he got hurt, and that's when Golden State won.
He had LeBron.
The Dame love is just I don't know. I don't.
Dame is a great player. I mean, I think y'all underrate. I think y'all underrating Dame.
Dame might not be top 10. He around here, but I don't know if he top 10 point guards.
He might be he might be 15 when you start breaking it down. But I think y'all overrate.
Westbrook
is not over Dame Lillard.
Harden not a point guard. Harden not a point guard.
He might be better than Harden.
Dame not better than Harden. Dame not better than Harden.
Sixers right now, guys.
No. Right now, Dame might be better than Harden, but career-wise, Dame is not better than Harden.
I agree with him, Conway. He said Lillard a franchise player. Kyrie's not. Kyrie hasn't carried a franchise as the number one player for a playoff run.
Neither has Dame.
Yeah,
because that one when they got the Western Conference Finals, and I showed you the stats. McCollum carried them in one of them rounds.
He didn't carry me. That McCollum
carried them.
No, let's get clear about this.
But you said Dame was injured.
Dame is the focal point of the defense. McCullough is not.
Guess what? He also was the focal point when they played the Pelicans in round one, and Drew put the clamps on him.
Dude, it wasn't Drew. That was a team effort.
Yeah, okay. It was a team effort.
Okay. It was the whole team swarmed Dame that year.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
They were doubling and tripling Dame like crazy, and that's when Dame realized he had to start moving around more. Yeah, I agree, Jamar. They tripping. Dame is way better than they give him credit for. They naming people. I would not put Westbrook over Dame Lillard. No.
I'm putting Westbrook over Dame Lillard.
No. So are you trading?
Westbrook can't shoot.
And Dame can't shoot, and still Westbrook can get rebounds. He can get assists. Dame don't even pass the right. He a point guard that can't even give assists.
Westbrook runs and gets them Ben Simmons rebounds. That bead almost snapped on Ben.
Okay.
Trying to run the glass real quick. Get the
listen. And like I said, I wanted Dame over Harden when we had a chance, when we was looking to trading Ben Simmons. I like Dame. I would take Dame on his team in a heartbeat. But if you tell me top 10, I don't think that Dame is top 10 point guards. And I do think that Westbrook, when you look at Westbrook's career and what he's and the numbers he's put up in his career, I can see if Dame won the finals or won a chip or Dame had this great playoff run or something like that. I don't think that Dame has had a better career than Westbrook.
Yeah, you got to put Westbrook's career over Dame. I can.
Y'all know if we don't get Dame though, he's going to Miami. Or if he goes to Miami with Jimmy, I don't.
That ain't gonna work.
This is my whole thing
because they both ball dominant.
This is my whole thing about the Morey. Jimmy can play
down the stretch of the game. Jimmy not ball dominant down the stretch of the game.
Jimmy takes the ball because he feel like he's the best player to handle the ball in clutch situations, but he's not ball dominant. All right. So who would you rather shooting the ball down the stretch for Miami, Jimmy or Dame? Dame.
Either one. You can't.
You would rather Dame?
Dame
time? I think Jimmy.
That's why they call it game.
He hit it one time against Westbrook, and you know why he was so hyped? Because Westbrook had been giving him the business. That's why. And Westbrook was talking trash against him.
Paul George kept saying it still was a bad shot. It still was a bad
It was one shot, and y'all hyping this Dame time off of one shot.
Sorry. You realize Dame has the most game winners. I think since like 2000, what was it? 2015
in the playoffs?
16?
In the playoffs?
No, period. Just most game winners. I think Dame is one of the top dudes with the most game winners.
That just tell me he wasn't good enough to give his team a good enough lead that he had to try to come back to win.
No, but you trying to say Dame time is fraudulent. Don't try to change the topic now. Dame time is a real thing. He's a big time clutch shot maker. Dame is actually better than Curry.
That Dame time joint a little hype to me.
No, Dame is a big time shot clutch maker. He's better than Curry in the clutch. And
that's about right, X-Man.
Curry is
he's
my
the OBJ to NBA.
Yeah, I could agree with that. This is
my whole problem with. I feel like this Sixers season gonna be shot like the year when we traded Ben, because this Harden thing is gonna drag on through the season, tear the team down. And we're gonna be like the fifth or fourth, fifth, sixth seed going to the playoffs, and this is gonna be another excuse. Well, we had to trade Harden. The team didn't really get to gel. It's gonna be another wasted season. It's gonna be another wasted season with this James Harden mess going on in the background while we trying to play.
Conway.
I honestly, I think it's a lot of politicking right now. I think Harden will be. I think Harden will be traded. He wants to go, but we got to remember, right? This is what these teams do. When you know, like everybody trying to get the upper hand on stuff. Like other teams know Harden wants to be traded. That whole situation is so they not trying to show their hand. They like, oh, well, we ain't giving you this, that, and other. Meanwhile, that's why the Sixers got to be how they was, like with Ben Simmons. Like, oh, well, we ain't just giving him up for them. We'll ride it out then. We'll ride it out with him on here then.
I agree.
Yeah, you got to be like that. And to me, I think something's going to end up happening off of that.
Dame Lillard is a huge shot maker. So getting back to the question about Miami, if Dame go to Miami, Miami's going to the finals and it probably a win.
So let me ask you this, right? Who is Miami giving up to bring Dame in there? You tell me Portland just going to give Dame up?
No, that's the problem. That is the problem.
Because you tell me if you Portland, you're not going to say I need Bam Adebayo.
No,
they're not giving up.
They won't come on. Pat Riley's he's gonna give them draft picks. If anything, they're a young team. They're gonna ask for draft picks and everything. So
you keep assuming that. You keep assuming that Dame put butts in the seats.
That's fine. But are you trying to win? It's a whole new. It's not the same GM from Portland.
Okay.
They got
You keep saying that, but guess what? These dudes also got to put behinds in the seat. So if you sitting up there and you giving somebody the caliber of Dame away, you still need somebody that's who's going to pull a draw in there.
Well, who did they draft with the number 3?
They got another guard.
Yeah, maybe.
They drafted a point guard. They're building for the future. They understand that.
Would y'all take Tyler Hero here?
No, first of all, I'm not taking nobody but a star. And James Harden ain't it. We need a star. We need a legit star. I mean, even if we can't get Dame.
You saying James Harden's not a star is false. That's a little bit false.
Listen, do you understand what he did in that Boston series?
I hear you, but I also see that he had 22 and 11 for the season.
And he also had 22 shot, 21% game 3, 25% game.
And he also dropped 40 in games 1, and we wouldn't have won game 1 without him. And we wouldn't have won game. We wouldn't have won another game without him.
Because of him, we lost.
I hear you. I hear what you're saying, win. but if you're sitting here telling me this is my whole thing. Hey, listen, Master Craft. I want Zach LaVine. Some of these guys don't feel like if I could get Zach LaVine for Toby, I'm taking Zach.
I'll do it for Toby, but he's not.
But this is what I'm saying. Right. We saying we want athletic wings. Zach LaVine is an athletic wing.
I'll take Zach. Yeah. I'll take him.
I'll take Zach LaVine in a heartbeat for if we can get him for Toby. I'm not trading Harden for him, but if you could give me him for Toby, I'll take it in a heartbeat.
Oh, that'd be awesome.
This right here will make or break Morey's career. His career is already going down the toilet.
I agree.
Trade and gets for this Morey can help either destroy his career because if he messes this up, he needs to be fired. It can either destroy his career or take him to that level, depending on what he get and surround the Sixers with and how far we get in the playoffs.
Y'all think that Maxey could be a point guard?
Morey's on the clock. No. I think he can.
No, I think he's better at shooting guard.
So you think? So if we go with Springer at point guard, Maxey at 2 guard, and bringing Zach LaVine as the wing, do you think that could work?
Springer not a point guard though. Springer
is a point guard.
No, he's a
combo guard. He's not a point guard. He's a combo.
So who do you think is our point guard going forward in the season?
Pat Beverley.
Dame.
We got Pat. We got Project P. We don't need nobody.
Point guard. Dame is it. If we get Dame, we're in a good spot.
Morey is a fraud, SP Cole. That's what I'm saying. Morey's a fraud, bro. I'm not even to be told. I'm not sold on Zach LaVine. I like him over Harden, but I'm not. I seen Zach.
I'm not trading Zach for Harden. I'm not trading Harden for Zach.
Why not?
Because I think we can get more out of him. Because guess what?
Get more. What more you gonna get? Hold on. What more
okay. I'm going to tell you. You keep saying that, but teams that are contenders are interested in Harden because they feel like that piece can put them over the top. Huh?
What can contending teams give you?
And that's the whole point. And that's the whole point of why Morey's going to play the hardball with it.
So you think we can get more from a contending team than Zach LaVine from Chicago?
Well, maybe not. But guess what? Harden has no say on where he gets traded to.
Where'd that even come from?
What?
He don't. You said you Harden, think
no. I'm saying that because guess what? If it's another team, guess what? If it's another team, if it's a young team that has these picks or whatever else, and they're like, well, we'll trade you for Harden. Harden caught himself screwing the Sixers over because he said he's going to take that contract where the Sixers have full autonomy of where they send him. So guess what? If they want to, they can send him to somewhere where they just going to give him a bunch of picks, and then they can take them picks and send it somewhere else for better talent. The Sixers have moves with Harden. Harden called himself jamming the Sixers up. He jammed himself up.
I take LaVine over Harden. I don't know about you, but I would take LaVine over Harden.
No, I would, but I'm saying we still need a point guard.
I agree with that. And that's where Morey got to step in and make some moves. You got to step in and do something. He probably should have tried to get somebody like
I don't want Harden either. I don't want Harden either, but I feel the same way about Ben. I didn't want Ben no more after Ben did what he did. But I'm not just giving somebody. I'm not giving another team somebody at a discount. Some team that's trying to make a championship run of Miami or Clippers. I'm not just going to give them Harden and say, oh, because he wants to go, we're going to give you him. No. Then you better find a third team that's going to give us something of value. I'm not, and guess what? We under contract. I felt the same way about Ben. Let him sit, let him rot then. And guess what? Harden's not going to pull the same thing Ben did. Remember, Ben Simmons thought he was going to pull this whole thing and get paid, and the Sixers said, no, we're not going to pay you. Ben Simmons went the whole mental route. You think Harden going to do that?
You still got to trade him because if you don't,
you think Harden going to go the mental route?
Wayne, you still got to trade him because he's a free agent, unrestricted free agent at the end of the year.
I hear what you're saying, but you don't think that Harden's thinking he's older. He has lower value. So you telling me that you think Harden's going to go on to the whole thing right now? If he wants more money, a bigger contract, he can't afford to just sit out and pout because nobody's going to give him big money in the free agency next year. Harden has to do something in order for him to get paid. He wants to get paid going forward. He has to do something.
Hey, D'Angelo Abdul, the star. I agree with you. I'm not completely sold on Zach LaVine, but I'm out on James Harden. I am. I'm out on Harden. I don't think Harden is a winner. I don't think Harden is overly concerned about winning the NBA championship. I don't think he could. I don't think he help get you above the hump. I just don't at this point. I'm out on James Harden. I'm officially out. Take that.
I'm still hoping. Listen, I just
holding on hope.
No. I don't want to be misunderstanding. I'm ready for them to trade Harden too. But my whole point right now is about poker. They're playing poker. It's about the whole point of they know the other teams know Harden wants to be out. The Sixers know we not just the same way with Ben Simmons. The other teams knew Ben, so they was like, okay, we're gonna try this, and he's like, no, I'm going to get what I feel is equitable value for this player. And so to me, that's why I'm saying Harden.
Your value is only what somebody's going to give you.
I hear you. And guess what? Eventually, somebody did give you something for Ben Simmons. Now, the whole point is...
No, they did. You gave up something.
Yes, they did.
You gave up something.
Yes, they did.
Thanks for
you keep saying...
I like it when Bulls recognize.
You keep thinking Harden's value.
But you don't. So you saying Harden don't have value? The Clippers want him. Why do the Clippers want him? Why do the Clippers want him?
Hold up. Do they really want him?
Yes, the Clippers want him.
No.
The Clippers are trying to get James
told us. Hold up. Let's backtrack. What deal is officially on the table for Harden?
They trying to get Harden, but
exactly.
No. Listen, I agree with you. They're not giving a great deal. They're not putting a great deal out for Harden because they're trying to play chess.
When we talked about Halliburton, Buddy Hill, you said and I'll quote, "Show me the deal."
Well, you know what I'll tell you? I'm not.
Wait.
I'm not going to show you a deal. You know what I'm going to tell you? Go ahead and look and see what Paul George and see what Kawhi Leonard said about wanting Harden on a team. They both spoke on it.
Are they the GM?
The Clippers want him.
Listen, you're saying they're not. Why do you think that they're answering that?
He wanted Dame Lillard.
Why do you think? I hear you.
I want to tell you that.
Paul George and Kawhi Leonard both said that they want Harden on the team.
You do a lot.
They do.
No, they did.
Yes, they did. Look it up. Look it up. They did so.
The Clippers.
They did so.
Joel Embiid said he wanted Dame. Joel Embiid wants Dame Lillard. He liked Dame post. He want Dame. The Sixers want Dame. That's two totally different things.
No. Wait. Hold. The Sixers do want Dame, but when Dame said that he just wants to go to Miami, the Sixers like it's kind of like that joint when the chick says she don't want you, and the boys talk about something. Oh, I ain't want her anyway. Like the Sixers know good. We all know good and well. If the Sixers had an opportunity to bring Dame in here, they bringing Dame in.
Okay, so what deal has the Clippers put together for James Harden?
Oh, they ain't offering. That's what I agree with you. But this is my point. That's why I said this is politics right now. This is the whole thing about playing chess because they feel like, oh, Harden wants out. The Sixers ain't gonna sit there and just what they gotta get rid of him at a bargain. Remember how when Ben Simmons said he would not play for the Sixers, and y'all talking about how he just screwed the Sixers over because he said that and other teams know, so they're not gonna offer you nothing for him. It's the same thing what Harden just did to the Sixers. But the Sixers have showed you that they saying we'll sit on that and we'll let him rot then.
My whole thing is I'm not saying the Clippers deal isn't feasible. If they're I'm not saying they aren't trying to get Harden. My thing is, and Bootzilla, don't give me that. He telling the Clippers deal is more legit than the Kings deal. The Kings deal was just here. Say no, it wasn't. The Kings deal was reported on just like this Clippers deal.
No, I agree. I agree. It was.
So I'm not saying it's not. I'm not. Hear me
so
out.
Halliburton still ain't did nothing except for earn $47 million a year without going to the playoffs yet.
That's fine. You can argue that point. But what you can't do is believe the Clippers deal and not believe the Sacramento deal. I'm not trying to hear that. If you go believe one, you gotta believe the other because the same sources.
No. I agree. I agree with you on that. That's what I'm saying. I do think the Clippers is trying to lowball right now because for real, and this is what I don't understand with teams because that's what Phoenix did last year. You give up all your depth to bring in the star.
The Clippers want that three-headed monster. They want.
That's what they want.
Kawhi exactly. That's what they want, and they don't want to give up one of their superstars to get Harden.
Because remember the Clippers was talking about. Remember the Clippers rumors was coming out about they was ready to get rid of PG3. Paul George. They were talking about getting rid of Paul George and everything else. Then all of a sudden, when it was like the Harden thing was available, it was like all of a sudden, well, we're not trading Paul George. You know what I'm saying? We holding on to Paul because, like Tim said, they want that three-headed monster. But right now, they're looking at the Sixers like you're between a rock and a hard space. So everybody's trying to play that poker face. Like, we ain't doing that. We ain't doing that.
I hear that. And like I said, I'm not saying they're not trying to get Harden. I mean, hopefully the deal is good enough to try to get him because
Starscream Halliburton got paid $47 million a year.
And Phil, you right.
And no playoffs.
We can't even extend Harden right now. The way his deal right now is he opted in. You can't even extend him after the season. He's officially a free agent. So basically, if you don't trade him by the trade deadline, you stand a chance of losing him completely.
Tim, I agree with what you're saying with Tim, but don't you think that Harden wants to get paid?
On a race against time with Harden. It ain't like that.
Yeah, X-Men. That's even worse if that was the deal. He said the deal was good because it was Fox, not Halliburton, and Morey said per Keith Pompey. So if that's even worse, if we was in position to get Fox, and I do remember hearing that now that you mentioned that.
Oh, yeah, no, remember we said that because remember I said I like De'Aaron Fox. I wanted De'Aaron Fox.
That's even worse.
Now that I did want because remember I was big when we was talking about the top 5 under 25, and I put that was De'Aaron Fox was one of my we did a whole show on the top 5 and I said De'Aaron Fox. No, hold up. Ephraim keeps it real though. Remember when we did the top 5 under 25 and I said De'Aaron Fox was in mine.
You don't remember, but
Wayne was high on Fox.
And I was and everybody like De'Aaron Fox. He can't shoot. De'Aaron Fox is and I was high on De'Aaron Fox. That was my guy, De'Aaron Fox, and we all was in Morey.
You said
no, I didn't. Stop. See, Ephraim keeping the bean. Ephraim keeping the bean.
Post Larry K comment. Post that like you did your own. Keep that same energy. You said Ephraim is right. Thank you. Post that comment because everybody trying to say I'm wrong.
I don't see
or at least who was it? Starscream or somebody? What? Maybe not Starscream. I'm calling the wrong name. Somebody was hating saying that what Bootzilla was saying that wasn't a real deal. It was a real deal. So for all y'all who saying it wasn't, it was, and we blew it.
Morey, I didn't see your name.
The real issue is,
I figured that.
The real issue is if we trade Harden and get nothing, how's Joel Embiid gonna feel? Is he gonna win out next?
I agree, Larry.
Right now, he says he's the watcher.
They were way too much.
Well, guess what? Then and if he do, then guess what? Then you trade Joel Embiid and get everything that you can for him.
You ain't gonna get much for a broke down superstar.
Is he broke down? He was just the MVP of the league. Is he broke down?
Nah, he just got hopefully Nick Nurse.
He's averaged plus 30 the last 2 years. He's broke down.
Don't let Bootzilla talk you into it. It was a real deal that Morey blew. Morey had several real deals on the table. So do you think? Hold up. This is what I'm trying to contemplate. They were actively looking to shop these players that y'all saying it wasn't a real deal. You don't think they offered? So what was the deal? If you hear it's rumored that Sixers and Sacramento is in conversation, what do you think the deal was then? Like don't get me. Oh, it's not a real deal, but
because Halliburton got traded.
Exactly. So it was no deal at all. That's what you're trying to say.
Hill got traded.
No, but he's saying about is he talking about the De'Aaron Fox thing or is he talking about Buddy Hill?
He's talking about Sacramento. I guess he's talking about Sacramento.
No, Sacramento definitely was interested.
They were definitely interested in Ben. Yeah. Definitely interested in shopping Hill in Halliburton.
Yeah,
Morey wanted 4 number ones and 4 switches. Like they wanted to switch 4. And he basically wanted like 8 number 1 picks for Ben Simmons, which was unrealistic.
Exactly, he was doing the most. Boozilla, let me rephrase what I said again. I said to Wayne, I was just making a point to Wayne because I thought Wayne was saying the Sacramento deal wasn't real. And I'm saying if you're going to say one deal isn't real, you got to say both deals isn't real.
Oh no, I'm not saying. I think both was real.
I'm not hating on I'm not saying the Clippers deal. I was kind of trolling Wayne at first with the Clippers deal, but then I said if you was listening, I'm not saying the Clippers deal isn't real. But is the same sources you hearing about this Clippers deal is the same sources you heard about the Sacramento deal. So take the deal for what it's worth. We could have had a deal with Sacramento and Morey didn't. So stop saying we didn't have one.
Right now, I'm not mad at
Bulls. Are the best.
We good.
No,
I agree. I think the whole thing is because I think Chicago needs to rebuild. I don't know if they feel that way, but you got
Sixers and Bulls are the best trade for James Harden.
I agree. For James Harden. But see, if the Bulls see this is my only issue though.
It is our best value.
No, this is my only issue. If any of these teams that are contenders that wants to trade for James Harden, they're trading because they want James Harden to be their point guard with the players they already have in place. So they're not
cap space for next year,
huh?
Or they just want to free up that cap space for next year.
If Chicago wants to trade, that's because Ball is hurt and they're looking for a point guard.
He is hurt.
No, but that's what I'm saying. They're not just trading
for next year.
So what I'm saying is,
and the coach don't like Zach LaVine. Is he the same coach or did he get fired?
So you think they would trade Zach LaVine for James Harden?
Yeah, and he the coach that benched Zach LaVine last year. Remember that?
It may be something to that.
That might be a nice trick.
I mean, I wouldn't be opposed to that, but we still need a point guard.
All right.
Maxey.
I don't know if Maxey's a point
guard. They actually got him penciled in as the point guard on a team.
I don't know about that.
I mean, listen, I was the one that said to me, I think Maxey had the potential of Ja Morant. So I don't know. But from what I've seen, to me, Maxey doesn't look like he don't look like a straight up like facilitating point guard to me.
But if anybody could learn to be a point guard, I'll say
maybe he can. I mean, maybe he can. That's why I'm saying I'm hoping Springer can develop. I think Springer looks like a legit point guard to me. I understand you said a combo guard, but it looks like he tries to run point when he's in the game. I don't know how good he could be. I'm not saying that he's no superstar or nothing like that. I don't know how good he could be.
A young Eric Snow, who knows?
I
want to talk about these ESPN firings that happened on Friday.
Oh, we're going to talk about that real quick because I am against the clock. But real quick before Observer Sports, I think the panel, he's asking about the Dame. He said he just got in. He said he wanted everybody's opinion on Dame and Maxey. I think everybody kind of torn on the Dame and Maxey thing. If Dame, I think everybody feels if Dame can maintain his level of play like he did last year, I think everybody would do it because
do you saying Dame for Maxey?
Yes. Dame averaged 32 points a game last year.
So who's running our two guard?
We got to find him.
Yeah.
Pat Bev.
You got to find him. You got Dame running the ./2. Now you got to.
Now I'm gonna say this though. I agree with the point that y'all been making for the last couple of years. We need athletic wings. That's why, to me, that's why I like the idea of LaVine. Like I get it. Some people, but I've seen LaVine play solid defense on the wing and also be an athletic wing, which we say we want. So I think we need to bring in with Tobias Harris because somebody's. That's what I'm saying. That's why I'm hoping that we can get like a Miles Bridges with Tobias because Miles don't want to be there. Miles don't want to be there either. And that's the whole thing about the NBA right now. It's all about politics. Like dudes don't want to be on certain situations. Dudes feeling some way about certain teams. So teams trying to weigh stuff out. So I'm not mad that the Sixers ain't just go out right now and say, "Oh, we trading Harden right now. We trading Toby right now." I'm willing to wait and see what we can get. The best deal we could get. It's still early.
The Maxey thing, we'll see. Well, I mean, if we decide to keep him, and if it's a good deal, and I like Maxey. I think he's going to work hard regardless of what happens. So even if
I might be willing to go Dame for Maxey though, I ain't gonna hold you. I might be.
Too. Dame, that dude, man. I think Damon B could get a championship done here.
I do too. If you put the right role players around him.
I agree. Tim, you want to talk about the ESPN thing? My bad. I want to answer that question.
You did. You hijacked.
Brooklyn is not giving up Bridges, bro. They just gave up. They just gave up KD for Bridges, and Bridges been dropping bombs for that squad. They're not giving up Bridges.
We played ourselves not keeping them in the first place.
Yes, we did.
All right,
Brett Brown played us.
On Friday, ESPN laid off a lot of their on-air commentators, including people I was surprised like Jeff Van Gundy and Jalen Rose,
Max Kellerman.
That was a big shocker. What's your thoughts on that? I mean, I know organizations usually they operate on a fiscal year, so usually June 30th, so they can close their books and everything and pretty much wipe everything off. They can close everything out and for tax purposes. They get rid of a lot of stuff to get into the black.
I understand why they did that, but you know what? To me, go ahead. My fault.
So I mean, no, I'm just saying. So that's the reason behind it. They got a chance to clear their books.
You need some new voices. Them old voices, they get tired.
No. You don't necessarily need new voice. I'm gonna tell you what what should happen is somebody should come in. If somebody's smart, they're going to come in with and maybe it might be is it Puff that got the what's the one that the Drink Champs is on?
Zilla, we agree with that.
Somebody needs to come in and you take some of that talent and you give Jalen Rose a podcast. You give like Jalen Rose, Shannon Sharp, like some of these dudes can do a podcast and bring in their own money. You don't need ESPN. ESPN is the ways of the that's like the fossils. I get it that they got these deals with the NBA and everything else, but this is the era now where dudes can be their own type person. And you can make more money. You don't need them dudes to make money now. And I love that about that because now you don't need these big corporations to back you in order for you. Because guess what? When the big corporations back you, they get the money. So now you go out and you do your stuff. You do your own pod. You get on a platform and you do stuff. If you're willing to do the leg work and do that, you make that money yourself. And I hope these dudes do that.
But you notice some of the people, the on-air talent that they did keep, they kind of like the gatekeepers, so to speak. They the ones who are always willing to talk bad against the athletes or
Malika Andrews.
Yeah, they like the Malika Andrews.
They get Perk too.
And the Michael Wilburns and everything. They get the boys that like they're friendly. Those who are more friendly.
Malika is ugly to me, bro.
I think Wilburn is more controversial. They that drums up more views.
That hate do make her ugly to me. I agree with what
they do. She's unattractive to me with that hate and her choice of a mate. No.
Who, Malika Andrews?
Yeah, how she conducts herself, I can't.
She hate on black men that she's marries the other. So I can't. It's an agenda there.
I can't stand her either. I whatever looks that she had, I don't even see no more.
I don't see her at all. Before I said I was like, yo, she's nice. Then all I agree. She's like a Karen.
A bitter hating, man hating, black man hating.
Black man hating. Let's get black man hating.
She is on some other.
It's ridiculous how she always tries to bring up the trash. And we before other people we've had a wave of people like on TikTok and other things bringing this out. But we've been saying, and I'll give Tim credit. Tim been on that for a minute about Malika Andrews hating on these black athletes, and she does that. Like how at draft night, the first thing you bring, it's like you saying, "Oh, he's such a." Now the only thing is he has a trowel hanging over his head. Why are you bringing that up on this young black man's draft night? And I don't even mean the greatest night of his life. A young man in a situation that he could change his life. And you want to drag up his dirt. Like, that's corny, bro. Like, come on, that's corny.
Yeah, the one I'm kind of, and I agree with Tim, the one I'm kind of surprised at more than anybody was Jalen, because Jalen is on the ESPN, the basketball drawing, and then he also had that other show on there as well. I forget, what was it called? I can't remember the name.
Get Up? He was on Get Up early in the morning.
He was on Get Up, but he was on the other one that him and the white boy was on. I can't even remember what the name of that was.
I know you're talking about.
they had their show.
So
I was kind of I was kind of surprised to see Jalen go. But like I agree with Wayne. I was saying this before. TV.
Is that what's up, X-Men?
In 10 to 15 years, TV going to look totally different. TV is a dying thing. To be told.
Yep. Network TV. Yep.
Yeah, network TV definitely is going to be archaic in probably about 10 to 15 years. Most people get their information off of YouTube, Instagram, all that kind of stuff. Twitter. I mean, not Twitter, was it TikTok and all that kind of stuff like that. So if these dudes are smart, they should start trending that direction. Somebody made the comment that they're making money to hire Shannon. That possibly could be. They might bring Shannon over there. I don't know. He got
Shannon's smart. He should go his own way. He should go find and this is the.
He should go do what? He should go do what? So if they offer you millions, it's going to take you longer to make the millions that they're going to offer.
I don't think it will. Right now, Shane is
doing what?
Right now, Shane is a hot commodity.
Doing what?
Doing his own thing.
Where? Doing his own thing.
Where? On what?
He already do that.
No, but that's what I'm saying. I think if he focuses on his own thing and do his own. Remember how we were talking about that? Remember we were talking about the I Am Athlete, and they was like the other dudes that was down with it. Like they felt like he was
doing YouTube, but YouTube takes a ton of your money. So where?
It's plenty of places. You got Rumble. It's all kind of places where these dudes ain't in your pocket. For real. Even if you look at Drink Champs, like they on I forget the one that they were on. You can go somewhere and you can build a platform. At this day and age,
they on Revolt TV with Puffy.
Yeah, Revolt. Yes, ain't that Puffy? That's Puffy John, right? Revolt. Yeah.
I don't have Revolt. I watch them on YouTube. Who has Revolt on here?
You saying you don't have Revolt?
I was saying the same thing. Jalen and Skip will be much CTV. I would tune in to Jalen and Skip.
But you're saying you have Revolt. Like I hear what you're saying about YouTube. But like I said,
who in the chat has Revolt? One person.
You're Ethan. This is what you have to. This is what you have to recognize, right? I hear you, but you're saying because you don't have something right now, it's about the next step up. Just because, see, that's the problem. People be thinking like, oh well, I gotta be on YouTube, or I gotta be on ESPN because that's how I'm gonna get the FaceTime. But if you're willing to go ahead and do the work and you can be bigger on your own.
How long is that going to take, and how much money you got to put?
It don't necessarily have to be that long.
Yes, it does, and you got to put money into it.
I mean, I kind of see what Wayne's saying, but I do agree with Ethan. Like, it will take a while. I mean, ESPN is an established 40-year network. So
that's going out, that's fallen to the wayside, that's losing money.
That's backed by Disney. So they
laid off like half their talent.
Yeah, and Disney had to pick them up because they was trash and they was losing traction.
I mean, that's what Shannon has to evaluate. Like what's his place in all this? How will he be treated in 5 to 10 years?
Wasn't Shannon on FX? He was on FX though, right?
Yeah,
FX1,
Fox Sports, FX1.
Yeah. So if I was Shannon, I would kind of do what both of y'all saying. He keeps his club Shay. He makes sure he still could do that thing, and then he takes the money grab. I would look for the future. I'll play the long game and the short game at the same time. You get the money grab from ESPN. You sign 5-year deal for whatever, $60, $70, $80 million. You sign
a 1 year deal. Do 1 year deal. Go year to year.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, but you got a 5-year. It's not like you sign a 5-year deal. That is contract. You going whether they fire him or not, they still have to pay that. So you sign your 3 to 5 year deal, whatever. And then you still do your podcasting on the side and try to build that up. So by the time your 5 years is done with ESPN, you may be in position to branch out on your own.
Yo, Ethan ain't drinking no Henny. You might see it in the background. Ethan ain't drinking no Henny. Ethan would not be doing his podcast if he's drinking some Henny.
We advertise. We
not with his shirt on anyway. He'd probably be dancing on that desk in the background.
He might have cussed. He might have messed around cussed like 3 or 4 times. If he was on something.
We're gonna drink to that.
All right. Lastly, before we get out of here,
hey, you see X-Man said Tim? That's Tim language right there.
Yeah, it is.
What did he say?
He said Malika Bedwitch.
She showed up. But listen, that's neither here nor there. All right. So 2 weeks ago, I know we talked about this. Well, we talked this privately in the chat, but I just want to say, Chicago 2 weeks ago, a young man saw his mom getting punched like viciously by some dude in line. And so he came in and he shot the dude, and people had mixed feelings about what happened in that particular situation. My opinion is simply he did what he needed to do, and he ended the threat to his mom. And she should not have been arrested. They did arrest him, but they dropped all charges. I thought that was fair for them to drop all charges because there's no reason for this man. And I know he was a man. He lost his he had 2 daughters. But listen,
he shouldn't have teed off on that woman like that.
You play stupid games. That's what you get.
So I think a lot of people felt the same. As Charlie M said, I felt no sympathy for Bull. I actually saw it after y'all were telling me about it. I did see it, Wayne. I forgot to come back.
Yeah,
I saw it. Yeah, that was ridiculous. Like that was disrespectful to the highest degree, just off of a confrontation.
Yeah,
with somebody, and not physical, verbal confrontation.
Right.
With a woman, and you act like that. I would be mad if you act like that with a dude and just verbal confrontation. Nobody, she didn't really step up and say, get in his face and nothing like that. He was just trying to say pretty much, shut up. I'm a point. Like, you have no right.
Yeah, he was mad that she was talking to him.
Yeah, like you don't have no right to voice how you feel in my presence. And if you do, I'm going to knock your teeth down your throat. And that's nutty. So, it's sad that it ended in that type of violence, but as they say, violence begets violence. You know what I'm saying? So you come with that type of violent energy, then you never know what type of energy somebody going to send back your way. And that's what happened to him.
No, I don't think she is taking it too far by suing though, because this is because in harmony with what Ephraim's saying, this is my point. When you look at the video, it wasn't at first they was trying to make it like the mom called the son and said, "Come in here, kill this boy," because he's talking reckless to me. She told him to bring in her licensed gun because this guy was threatening her. So, and she has every right to do that. So when she's telling her son this, if you really look at the video, the boy didn't come in there with the intention to shoot this man.
D-Star black guy. Go ahead.
The boy came in there, and then you sit there and you talk about as a 14-year-old boy, you see some dude haul off and hitting your mom like that the first time, and then haul off hitting her like that again. Like you seen the young boy
back for the third swing. Like, I think he was on number 3.
Like that's what I'm saying. Like the young boy was like panicking and digging in to get the gun out because it's like I gotta save my mom. This dude trying to kill her.
Well, I do think she's a little too extra now. You need to let it go because
no, don't let it go.
Here's why. Let me say why. Because regardless, there was a life taken, and if a life is taken, regardless of whether guilty or innocent, there should be some type of investigation. There should be an investigation. Even if that's you, he's guilty, but there should be an investigation where you saw somebody killed that person. They need to be brought in, questioned, and released. I think everything happened. It was timely. It was like a couple of days. I'm okay with that. Then you let it go. But a life is important. That life was important enough to be investigated.
Hold on. Let me ask you. Who is she suing and what is she suing for?
She's suing the city, the police department. She's suing the cops that arrested her.
I agree with her. Because to me, when you get out there, you investigate what's going on. You got the video. So what
happened was she let a lawyer get in her head.
No, what happened was they assumed because he was a young black man with a gun that shot somebody that he was coming in here looking for violence. That's what they assumed.
But still,
that's what. Okay, so why you got to put him in jail to do that?
Even though her gun was licensed, it wasn't licensed to him.
Right, but
she still got to be careful that they don't start. Oh, you know what? Let's you know what I mean. So I
don't want vigilante justice.
You know why I'm not. You know why I'm not trying to hear that, because guess what? When you got all these gun rights activists and everything else, when you got a young boy that's 17 whose mom drives him over to the thing and he shoots up protesters, and then they saying
he's not suing the media.
Huh? What'd you say?
He says something about the media. I said she's not suing the media.
But no, my thing is when you had this young boy who was 17, not even legally able to carry the gun, who mom dropped him off at the protesters, and he ended up killing people when he came from a whole nother state, and he gets off. I don't want to hear that. And guess what? And the cops was looking to him and trying to cater to him,
he still got arrested. He still got charged. And he still went to court.
He ain't get all that type. They was looking to try to put this young boy under the jail for shooting the dude.
But
they wasn't. They let him go.
Yes, he was. When he first
hold on. He didn't go to trial. You act like he went to trial and lost. They didn't even press charges.
When they locked him up, the whole story around it was
because
that he came in here and then he
there was a lot of false information coming out. That's why. And once
they didn't need the false information. All you had to do was look at the video, the same video we saw.
I think a life deserves at least an investigation.
Yeah, I kind of agree with Tim.
It was a black guy. It was a black guy that stole it. It wasn't. So it was black on black. It wasn't like it wasn't a race thing in that. But my whole point is they looked at this young black male who was 14, and the whole point was his mom sent him a text and said, "Bring me my gun," which was registered. She said, "Bring me my gun," because she was being threatened. The young boy didn't come in. He didn't come in here with the gun in his hand like, "Yo, get off my mom." He came in with the gun tucked in his sweatshirt to bring it to his mother. When he saw his mother being assaulted, he pulled it out and reacted.
I agree with that.
Real quick, Tim.
I don't know if that's true.
You and Wayne. I mean, please.
You don't know if what's true.
But my thing is, I agree with Tim. If it was a white guy or a black guy, I don't care what color it was. If somebody gets shot and you hearing speculation, I don't know what eyewitnesses were saying, because it was eyewitness, not eyewitnesses saying this, but it was stories out there saying that she was also saying shoot the girl. I don't know how true that was. So the police probably got a lot of different speculation outside of the video. The video don't catch everything. So now you got and I'm saying if I don't know the whole full story, but if you have eyewitnesses saying, well, she did this and she said that and he did this, then you gotta have an investigation. I'm fine with that. So my thing
they came to the right conclusion.
They did. They didn't draw it out. It was just 2 days, so it happened pretty much expeditiously. Like they arrested it.
OTC stop.
Then they got him out. Now, one thing I do want to say, and Abdul makes a good point. He said he definitely shouldn't have put hands on her, but people got to stop thinking they men. Real women don't do that. There is. I'm not
putting no blame on her at all.
I'm not putting no blame on her.
I don't want to victim. No, listen, hear me out. I don't want to victim blame. However, it's like what we say: if a girl walked down the street and with revealing clothes on, right? And somebody sexually assaults her. Is it her fault that she got sexually assaulted? No. Is it smarter for her not to do that, though? Yes.
You know why I don't agree with you? I'll tell you when you finish. I'll tell you why I don't agree.
The same thing sometimes as a woman, and even as a man, if you see somebody ain't thinking right, it's best you see. I tell my wife this all the time. If my wife know, I don't even have to tell her. She know if a ninja talking crazy and she looking at him like crazy, he's saying crazy stuff. Don't say, keep your mouth shut. If I'm not there, keep your mouth shut and keep it moving. I'll handle it on the back end. If I'm there, you come out of the car and get me. Don't say nothing. I don't know why don't say nothing, because people are crazy. You cannot control people's actions. So sometimes you do got to think about where you at, who the person is, and what you're saying in that situation. That's all.
Now, you know me, and usually I would agree with certain stuff, but to me, that woman was not even in. See, I've seen videos where women be in a guy's face like, who you think you are? She wasn't even doing that. She was not.
Say, if you say something again, I'm gonna punch you in your face. And she kept talking. Would it have been smart for her not to say something? Would it have been smart for her not to say nothing, Wayne?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
I'm still not.
But if you're in the meat, go ahead, it's my fault.
If somebody,
if you're in the heat of arguing and somebody's talking to you, and guess what? I've seen people in certain situations where they say that, and like I've been in a situation where a dude pull a gun out on me, and you just talk. Shut up. I've been in a situation where somebody says something to me and they're sitting there and they're saying something and they're talking about something. You say another word, I'm going to shoot you. And I'm like, Dag, you really going to shoot me over this? Like, it wasn't even, to me, that's how she was. It wasn't like she was saying, you ain't going to do nothing. She was like for real, such and such.
You walk
and
away.
You was dumb. Exactly. And you was dumb for saying another word. If a bull say, if you say another word, I'm gonna shoot you, and you say you really gonna shoot me over this, and he popped you, he told you if you say another word, I was gonna shoot you. So why are you still talking?
Well, I'm still here.
Thank God.
Because he wasn't about that smoke. All
right, yo, we're gonna wrap this thing up.
It could have been a number of situations where it didn't play out like that.
So let me ask you this, Ephraim, real quick. So when the cops when they say that the cops pull the guy over and the cops being extra and the guy like, yo, why you pulling me over? So the guy should just say, yo, sir, lock me up, sir. Listen. Put your cuffs on me, sir. Yep. I'll just wait till after you put me in the jail cell, then I'll let the media solve this.
No. We talked about this before with Tim. You exercise your rights until you realize that they don't care about your rights. If you're with a cop and you try to exercise your rights and you realize he don't care, it's best to do what he say because you're trying to go home. Your first job is to get home to your family. It's not to have your ego. It's not to try to exercise your rights, because sometimes if you're in a situation and that cop don't care about your rights, you won't go home that night. So sometimes it's best to keep your mouth shut and do what he say and go home and press charges later on and have your phone recorded.
You know what the men do nowadays, Deanna Blue? You know what the man was doing? He was filming it. That's what the men do nowadays.
And listen, Deanna Blue,
it's all good.
That's what they do.
Don't even worry about it.
And I'll say this: I'm one of them people like whereas though I say a man shouldn't have to step in on nothing. Like a man shouldn't have to step in on, because you don't know when it's, especially if it's a lover's quarrel. You don't know what's going on. However, in that situation where you see this guy being escalated about a woman that nothing's going on, one of those guys should have stepped in like, yo, bro, like chill, bro, like fall back, chill. That because I'm not one of them Captain Save a SAH. I'm not one of them type dudes, because you never know what a chick did. You never know what a situation happened. But if you sit there and you seen that whole thing, a man should have stepped in and said, yo, bro, chill. Like fall back. It ain't no need to go that far with it.
All right, y'all. What y'all do. This was fun. We ain't been on here in a minute. So just like, comment, and subscribe. Hit that notification bell. Everybody enjoy y'all day off. Mostly everybody got is off tomorrow. If you don't got off, your job don't like you. Like, comment, subscribe.
You could be getting that holiday pay.
Yeah.
Ain't nothing wrong with that.
Maybe. All right, y'all. We out.